Tracking for you today on Startup Street. In what's brewing, supply chain finance platform Kredx is looking to create a 4,000 crore rupee corpus to serve the capital requirements of businesses by the end of this financial year by forging partnerships with several major banks and financial institutions. Now, with this, the company says it is doubling the initial plan and vision set forth for the festive season of 2023. To talk about this and the expectations from the next few months, joining me now is Manish Kumar, the CEO and co-founder at Kredx. Manish, thanks very much for your time here on CNBC TV18. If you could start by telling us what is giving you this optimism to double your planned corpus to meet the working capital requirements of businesses ahead of the festive season.
We got a lot of requests from our existing client to give us a higher limit. Because of that, we initially allocated 2,000 crore, which we are now increasing it to 4,000 crore. And we are partnering with various banks and financial institutions to liquidate this additional 2,000 crore. And we are very optimistic that we are going to surpass even the 4,000 crore target that we have set for us.
So, this 4,000 crores you're looking to disburse from now until the end of the financial year, since the festive season is sort of already started, how much have you already disbursed?
So we have already, we have put a target for 2,000 crore, out of which we have almost already disbursed 90% of that target so far. And we are expecting, because we have already surpassed the 90%, we have allocated another 2,000 crore, which we are expecting to do it. Though we have put the target till financial year end, we are hoping that we'll have this before this year calendar year itself.
Manish, what are these partnerships that you're forming? ICICI Bank and MasterCard are two of the ones that we know of, but what other banks and FIs are you partnering with, and what should we expect on that front?
So MasterCard and ICICI is definitely two partnerships that we have already announced, and it's already, we are taking this much higher. Apart from that, we are also meeting with 4 to 5 more major banks in India, whom we are targeting, and some very, very large NBFCs, which are potentially very important NBFCs as per RBI, whom also we are partnering with in this partnership.
You said you've almost dispersed 90% of your initial target because of the demand. Usually during the festive season, we see an uptick for consumer durables, apparels, those businesses. Are there specific areas or segments where you're seeing more demand than the rest? And, how would you compare the demand that you're seeing in this festive season compared to what you've seen in the last few years?
Yes, generally we are seeing a more uptick in mostly the manufacturing, consumer durables, as you mentioned. That part, fashion is definitely another part which is there. A lot of enablers, which is mostly the logistics services that they provide, mobiles. These are basically where we are seeing a larger intake. So as compared to last year, it is pretty much a similar kind of uptake, but this year is much larger or much bigger because I think maybe there will be some bit of COVID that was going on last year, but this time we are seeing a much higher intake in terms of what it is. Typically, festivals are always large, but this year is definitely much.
And Manish, geography-wise, are there any trends? I mean, certain cities or segments that are seeing more demand for working capital from businesses than the others?
Yes, as I said, these sectors are basically cluster specific, as means that there are, for example, fashion clusters are somewhere in, some part in North India and some part in South India. So there are these clusters, and when manufacturing also, especially these consumer durables are mostly coming from South India. So there are clusters, but these clusters are mostly because of different kind of industries which are there in these clusters. But yes, it's more specific to few clusters in the entire India.
If I may step away from, this 4,000 crore corpus itself, you recently got the final approval from IFSCA to facilitate global trade for businesses of India in GIFT City. How much have you executed in export financing so far in the month since, and what's your target for the year there?
So we have already disbursed so far around $300 million. And we are targeting that we will be in this financial year with upward of $1 billion so far. That's what we are actually the first one to get the commercially go live from IFSCA in GIFT City. And the entire program is running very fine. In fact, we are getting a lot of support from exporters on that platform too.
And finally, Manish, if you could give us a sense overall of how much working capital did you disburse last year? What will FY24 look like, both in terms of volume and value of disbursements for MSMEs that you're looking to make?
So Ritu, this is, we generally don't disclose the full numbers for the FI financial year, but I can give you the sense of it. This year is already, we have done 3x more than what we have done last year, and it's only 6 months that has gone. So we are expecting that this year we are going to end at least 4 to 5x more than what we have done the last year.
Manish, somewhere I remember reading that you had disbursed about 1,500 crores last year, in working capital. Is that the right number?
That's 1,500 crores during the festival season, Ritu. Yes, and this time the initial 2,000 crore we allocated, 90% of that is already we have disbursed.
All right, Manish, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and telling us about your plans for this festive season ahead. We wish you the best, and thanks very much for your time here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ritu. Have a great day.
Moving on,